It just seems quite creepy. And then knowing the context of the Matt Gaetz stuff, when we add everything together, for someone who is allegedly accused of human trafficking, allegedly accused of drugging and raping young girls, allegedly, then it gets incredibly creepy, you know, when you add it all, allegedly. So Matt Gaetz is having a hell of a day. As y'all know, him and Marjorie Taylor Greene are currently doing their thing. They're fundraising. They're actually fundraising an incredible amount. They are just a fundraising machine. People are just emptying their pockets to pay these two conservative grifters as much money as they can to keep doing what they're doing. It's kind of funny, though. Some recent documents came out that revealed that turns out Matt Gaetz is spending a lot of the money from all this fundraising to pay a PR firm to be able to kind of try and clean his image from all the alleged pedophilia and human trafficking that he's accused of doing right now. And it seems like those two things haven't been able to leave the two of them as well. There's been a problem for them and their little tour.
At Alpine.
Oh God. Hey, at least this is not one of those other ones. Okay, let's see what's going on with our friends.
Taxpayers of this country pay all of these people's salaries, and they owe the people of this country the answers to the questions.
We need a break. We need it.
Okay.
The left is interrupting the press conference. We need to end it.
Yeah. Thank you. For those of you that really care about due process, thank you.
Pretty strong words.
At
Traitors
Alpine credits.
and rapists. Traitors and rapists. Wow.
We gotta go. We need a break.
Representative Gomer.
The left is interrupting the press conference.
Representative Gomer, you've all been very supportive. Representative.
The media, you saw what happened here. The left shut us down.
The media, you saw what happened here. They tried to shut us down. They're trying to silence us with these messages, these call-outs, traitors and rapists. What the hell? Cancel culture.
Yeah, run!
This one's all over the place too. Free the January 6th prisoners? Like what is going on?
Why are you blowing in people's ears, dude?
Why are you blowing that in people's ears, dude? One more time.
Why are you blowing in people's ears, dude? Are you trying to insult me?
Totally awesome. Totally awesome. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate you.
Are you trying to assault people with
Oh, that's coming up next, Kubi.
weapons? Why are you
They're my promise. Congressman Gomer is my promise. Congressman Gaetz.
Yeah, it seems like appropriate, allegedly appropriate to use a rape whistle with Matt Gaetz. Allegedly appropriate. I mean,
Please back up.
in terms of protests, this one ranks pretty high on the annoyance scale. I'm not against their messaging. Don't get me wrong. Well, some of it. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what they're protesting. I like the whole rapists call out seems pretty apropos for Matt Gaetz, but the free the January 6th prisoners part, that's where I'm like, you lost me there, you know?
Please back up. Please back up.
You back up.
No, you're hurting me.
They're hurting you.
Okay, no, they're not. They're not touching you.
We
You're
have it on
physically
video,
harming me.
sir.
Back up.
You blowing a whistle in people's ears,
Back up.
damaging their hearing. It's on video.
True. Could be two different parties. Could be multiple protests happening simultaneously. So that was just the first piece of inconvenience for Matt Gaetz. I'm sure all of you watched the video the other day where someone trolled Matt Gaetz by going in front of him with all the American gear, and all of a sudden was like, I don't believe any of the stories. I don't believe that you're crazy, and I don't believe that you're a pedophile or a rapist. Okay, they're all lying, and it was hilarious. We all had a laugh. Something a little bit more intense happened today to Matt though. His sister-in-law, his future sister-in-law, had a revelation, shall we say. So let's take a little second to listen to what she has to say in her TikTok videos.
I'm a gangster too, and it takes two to tango. Hello, whoever is gonna watch this. I just wanted to make like a follow-up video, because while that other video was just like a short little humorous thing, there is so much more to the story and about like what I know about Matt Gaetz. And so I just wanted to like come on here and kind of clarify some things, because it is definitely a serious situation. And I also wanted to share a little bit of my story and why I have the perspective that I do. First off, I just wanted to clarify, I now realize that I use the incorrect terminology. It is not pedophilia, it is ephebophilia, which is being attracted to like post-pubescent teens in the age range of 15 to 19. I
love how everyone has to specify that, you know. It's like, hey, hold on, okay. It's just, I'm not a pedophile, okay. I'm not attracted to children. I'm attracted to young teenagers. It's an ephebophile. All right, so let's just clarify that. I think that's the Nick Fuentes defense, right? Like that's kind of the libertarian thing. Hey, excuse me, do not call us pedophiles. Shame on you. That is a slur. Do not use the P slur on me, okay? I am a proud ephebophile. There's a big difference. I would like everyone to know the difference.
Also want to clarify that this is a very long story that I'm going to have to sum up very quickly. And I also want to put it out there that this is from my point of view. There's two sides to every story, and I acknowledge that. But this is what I experienced. So last summer when I was living in DC and in...
Everyone's like, well, that's getting clipped. If that's getting clipped and being thrown on the internet, you have but to give the context. Clip me as well. Save me, friends. You know, clip the full minute and then be like, no, foolish. That these are lies, and that's all I'm gonna say. You know, but I'm still gonna call them pedos. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call pedos. That's just what I'm gonna do. If someone's like, I'm not a pedophile, I'm a ephebophile, I'll be like, okay, cool distinction, bro. Semantics aside, you want to fuck them kids, so yeah, you shouldn't be fucking 15-year-olds, let alone human trafficking them. Come on, Juste Belmont too. Thank you. Am I really like spitting controversial takes right now?
Turning there.
Won't someone think of the pedos?
Basically, Matt had just started dating my sister, and he had a friend that I had met and kind of knew that was around Matt's age, like had a kid, had been divorced, and this guy kept telling me like, oh, Matt told me I should ask you out, like that we'd be great together, yada yada, and I would just make jokes and be like, haha, like I'm 19, like that's weird, and I just thought he was kind of joking, and then he definitely like started being more vocal and saying creepy things and being like, I had a boyfriend at the time. He's like, oh, when you break up with your boyfriend, let me know, and so you can have a real man. Just creepy stuff. And he later like texted me and was like, oh, sorry about what I said. I just wanted to get Matt off my back. Like, Matt told me I should ask you out, yada, yada, yada. So I decided to confront Matt about it and be like, hey, why were you telling your friend to ask me out, and like be like, that's just weird and creepy. So come Thanksgiving, when I finally had the chance to see him face to face, I was straight up with him, and I was like, what is up with this? Why did your friend say this? Very much was like, wanted to hear his side of the story, and he just immediately got so defensive, started yelling at me and my mom. He called me a narcissist, was just 1,000% gaslighting me. I literally was just like standing there asking him, like, are you going to listen to what I have to say? And he went full.
I mean, none of this shocks me or surprises me. All of it sounds very on brand for Matt Gaetz. I can totally steal that, you know? Like, hey, come on. Why are you acting all weird? This is really weird, okay? I mean, come on. It's just one of my buddies, who happens to be like 35 years old, who I decided it might be cool if he just went out with my 19-year-old sister-in-law. I mean, technically, none of it's illegal. It just seems quite creepy. And then knowing the context of the Matt Gaetz stuff, when we add everything together, for someone who is allegedly accused of human trafficking, allegedly accused of drugging and raping young girls, allegedly, then it gets incredibly creepy, you know, when you add it all, allegedly.
Lawyer on me, like, I don't have to listen to you, I don't have to answer your questions, whatever. And as far as I'm concerned, someone who is innocent shouldn't be getting so defensive and literally being a grown man yelling at a 20-year-old girl. It was just beyond me. I want to make sure I don't miss any key points, so I'm going to make a second video, so stay tuned. So basically, to continue the story, after I had this encounter with Matt and just saw his character and the type of person he is, when everything came out about him, I honestly, unfortunately, was not surprised.
Australian swim quote.
And it wasn't just this encounter I had with Matt. When I was in DC, I heard kind of through the grapevine stuff about him. You know, everything is hearsay, but just he had a reputation for prowling after college girls when he's a grown man, and to me that's just kind of weird. And well,
yeah, I mean, there's all the photos too. Those ones aren't great, you know. There's been a handful of accusations as well, so.
All that little video I made was such a minuscule thing, and I know does not properly bring to light the whole situation. If I can just bring some attention to it so people are aware of what is going on and people can be held accountable, that's my goal.
Ashanti,
and as someone who has personally experienced ton of creepy old politician men hitting on me when I was underage and experiencing sexual assault at that age by people of power, it's just very disheartening, and I have zero tolerance for people like him, and I think politicians need to be held accountable for their actions, and I'm tired of them getting away with this type of stuff, and I think it's important that we are just aware and hold people accountable to whatever extent we can. There is so much more I could say, but I just kind of wanted to make a little bit of a clarifying video. So thanks for coming to this TED Talk. That's all.
All right. So awesome, powerful, really, really cool that she, had the courage to come out with all of this. Obviously, a lot of it is still conjecture, right? It is just one person's opinion. It is, as some say, hearsay. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure that we say allegedly, but it just adds to the pile of general fucking creepy that is Matt Gaetz. Like just a big old pile. Like if you stacked up the Gaetz files, right, and then you just had it. So you had a little, the X-Files theme plays. When you get the pedo files, the Ephebo files, and then we've stacked them all together, it's starting to look hella sus. Like the whole thing is looking real sus, you know? It's looking real gross, real bad. And then we add this now, okay? So this is someone who directly knows Matt Gaetz. It's a sister-in-law, future sister-in-law, who's coming out and being like, he was just big old weird and creepy. And there's just tons of circular stories about him going after young women. That's been a thing in the news, not to mention behind the scenes. And then also, being all like, you should be dating my 19-year-old sister-in-law to his friend. Because, one friend to another.
And as someone who has personally experienced ton of creepy old politician men hitting on me when I was underage and experiencing sexual assault at that age by people of power, it's just very disheartening, and I have zero tolerance for people like him, and I think politicians need to be...
Fuck yeah. Awesome. Please. Are we sure he isn't going to undercover as an Ephebo file to catch pedophiles? I mean, Q, etc. Well, we'll see. We got to make sure that we we have to do the honest thing and just make sure we keep acknowledging that, of course, it is distinct. All right, there's a difference between the pedophiles and the Ephebo files. They don't want the two to be conflated. They would like to be separate. They would like to have their own separate distinction.
Held accountable for their actions, and I'm tired of them getting away with this type of stuff, and I think it's important that we are just aware and hold people accountable to whatever extent we can. There is so much more I could say, but I just kind of wanted to make a little bit of a clarifying video. So thanks for coming to this TED Talk. That's all.
All right. Chico's having himself a time. There was an article, and I think I just want to double check. Representative Matt Gaetz' future sister-in-law appears to have had more than enough of the Florida congressman, posting 3 TikTok videos in the last 2 days, slamming him as weird and creepy and a literal pedophile. Roseanne Lucky, the sister of Gaetz' fiancée, Ginger Lucky, was sharply critical of the congressman and his treatment of young women, saying unfortunately was not surprised to have learned Gaetz was under federal investigation for alleged sex crimes. In one video Monday night, Roseanne Lucky told a story about Gaetz pressuring an older man to court her when she was 19. She called the move weird and creepy and claims Gaetz yelled at her and her mother and went full lawyer when she confronted him. I saw the character and the type of person he is, and when everything came out about him, I honestly, unfortunately, was not surprised. As someone who's personally experienced a ton of creepy old political men hitting on me when I was underage and experiencing sexual assault at that age by people in power, it's very disheartening, and I have zero tolerance for people like Gaetz. Fuck yeah, so powerful. Well done. I'm really happy that she's like not only got the courage to tell her truth, but that it's coming out against someone as powerful as Matt Gaetz, in amongst everything else that's happening with Matt Gaetz, which is also massive yikes. Do you want movies and Serfs watching the movies? So then come over to the new channels. It's the Serfs Cinema. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our wonderful gods, Xander Corvus, VK Jehannam, T. Grow, and Peyton L. Just, may you smite all of our enemies. To our monarchs, Tom Spiker and the Tim Caucus, we are your humble servants, ready to do all your bidding. To our lords, Evan Nudie, Trevor R., Alexander Thaler, Ryan Lubin, and Jeff Lamb, we shall proudly carry your banner on the online battlefield. To our Knights of the Round Table, Val 9000, Jenna Tao, Dark Puppy, Quiet 185, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Saren 42, Chronic the Hemphog, Phone Jenny, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Jimmy Big Nuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Yopi, Josh Mickelson, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our glass and we raise our swords and we salute you.